Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy, and today we're going to be looking at the docket for May 31st, 2023 in Idaho versus Koberger. And when you do, when I provide a link in the description to how you can get to the docket, you will see that there are 5 separate orders to seal and to redact, and this is evidence in this case. One of them is for AT&T Mobility. Another one is for Snapchat, which is a social media platform, and there are 3 others. And the one for AT&T is the one I want to talk about right now. Similar orders and motions to seal, and then the orders that were entered on those motions to seal and to redact appear on the docket for the 31st. But let's look at what this AT&T order says. It states here that the matter came before the court on April 28, 2023, on the state's motion to seal or redact pursuant to, and then it gives the Idaho rule. The hearing was held via Zoom, and it then goes into who was there that day. It states that the court reviewed the records, considered the arguments presented, weighed the interest in privacy and public disclosure, and announced its findings of fact on the record. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at April 28th, 2023, you will see once again, as has happened before, the public had no indication that there was a hearing of any kind that was held on that day. And there was more than one on the state's motion to seal evidence. So once again, the privacy and the secrecy of this case continues to trouble me, especially today. I'm recording this on July 4th, 2024, as we celebrate our nation's independence and all of the great protections that we have pursuant to the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, that guarantees us such things as freedom of speech, freedom of the press, due process, and so many other freedoms. And I continue to be concerned as I exercise my First Amendment privileges and give my opinions of the precedent this case is setting, that criminal cases in pretrial can be conducted to the level of secrecy that this one has, where the public doesn't even know contemporaneously that a hearing is set in the case. There's no findings of fact anywhere for that date that we can see, redacted or otherwise, so we don't know what findings of fact were made on the record that this order talks about. It goes on to say that for the following reasons, that it is hereby ordered that the record herein shall be disclosed except for the following, which is the affidavit in support of the search warrant is sealed. So we don't know what was said in the search warrant by the detective who filled it out in support of getting this warrant. That is completely sealed. The search warrant itself and the receipt and inventory is redacted. So this has to do with what came back from AT&T and from the other recipients of the other warrants, that the other 4 orders to redact and seal address, and then that this order will remain in effect until further order of the court. It is dated May 31st, 2023. It says here, nunc pro tunc, N-U-N-C, P-R-O-T-U-N-C, which is a Latin term that means now for then. It's signed by Judge Megan E. Marshall. And the reason for this term is that while Judge Marshall had jurisdiction on the day of this hearing that we're just finding out about on May 31st, 2023, she did not thereafter once the indictment was signed. Then the matter went to Judge. So on May 31st, 2023, this has to do with a case that's before Judge, but Judge Marshall is going back and is signing these orders, doing some housekeeping to clean up some things that happened while she still had jurisdiction. And once again, we see in here, for the reason for this ruling is to protect the safety of certain individuals. That's the second reason that's given here why the court is making this ruling. And I ask again, as I have before, if the sole defendant per Idaho has been behind bars continuously from December 30th, 2022, how could anyone's safety be compromised if evidence is released in this case? This is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here at the Indie Zone.